Hello again. I must confess that I watch Alex Belfield from time to time on his YouTube channel, The Voice of Reason. Or, to be more accurate, I should say that I used to watch him on his YouTube channel. I found him very entertaining, at least sometimes. He was, after all, a professional comedian who was employed to warm up audiences of comedy shows on radio and television, putting them in the mood for laughter. I have a fairly primitive sense of humour, and so he used to get a laugh out of me with some of what he said. He also used to draw attention to interesting things as well, stuff which didn't always find its way into the newspapers or other mainstream media. However, like all of us, Bellfield was prone to making errors and sometimes not being altogether straightforward with people. Nothing wrong with that, of course. None of us tell the truth all the time, and we all get things wrong sometimes. Even me. Of course, the consequences of your mistakes tend to grow exponentially according to how many people become aware of them. If I screw up here and my wife rebukes me, then the matter is likely to go no further than the two of us. Or possibly my daughter might get to hear of it, so that's only three people. If I say something obviously idiotic or untruthful on this channel, though, over 100,000 people will know all about it. One must always bear in mind this sort of thing. When, like Alex Belfield's Voice of Reason, there are over 350,000 subscribers, things have the potential to go catastrophically wrong. One of the things that Bellfield was prone to doing was singling out by name people, some of them working for the BBC, and making allegations about them. This can be a little risky, really, for two reasons. First, there is the question of defamation, which is a civil matter, and secondly, there is a law against harassment, which is a criminal offence. In October, the BBC presenter Jeremy Vine was in the High Court, alleging that he had been harassed and defamed by Alex Belfield on YouTube. I give a link to a news item about this in the description to this video. I won't say too much because the case is still sub judice, but there is a rumour going around that an order for costs of £25,000 was made against Bellfield early in the proceedings. Naming people in YouTube videos can be a bit risky. Then too, there are the criminal charges for which Bellfield is to stand trial in July. On his channel, Alex Belfield made a great deal about being persecuted by the police, supposedly at the instigation of the BBC, and claimed many times that the police had never charged him with anything despite breaking his door down and searching his home. This is not altogether true because he will be appearing at Nottingham Crown Court on July the 4th to answer 12 charges of harassment going back 10 years and covering the period since 2012 until last year. I give a link to the news item about this. Some of this alleged harassment relates also to the YouTube channel. One quite sees why YouTube is anxious not to get mixed up in all these legal cases, but they also have other problems with the Voice of Reason channel. Well, I say they did have until they stopped any more videos being posted. Bellfield has talked a lot about COVID and mentioned things like 5G as well, and this has been reported in the newspapers. More bad publicity for YouTube. As if that was not enough, there was the recent harassment of the leader of the Labour Party, Keir Starmer, which also unfortunately links back to Alex Belfield. When Boris Johnson accused Keir Starmer in Parliament of not having prosecuted Jimmy Savile when Starmer was Director of Public Prosecutions, Alex Belfield released a video on the Voice of Reason entitled "Breaking, Wow, Boris blames Keir for letting off evil BBC Savile, huge Starmer fail." It was viewed by hundreds of thousands of people and it went viral. It was spread a lot on Telegram, which is a social media channel which is used by some people on the far right. A few days later, Starmer was surrounded by an angry mob and had to be rescued by police. And this too was reported in the newspapers with mention of YouTube and Alex Belfield. So it is that Belfield has been dancing between the raindrops for some while, and he's now been caught in the storm without an umbrella, as one might say. He is unable currently to post any new material on YouTube, although much of his older stuff is still there. He has now started a subscription service in which people pay £1 a week to hear his views. He is banking on the fact that with 350,000 subscribers, if only 10% will pay up, that will bring him in an annual income of £35,000. I have an idea that he's being a bit optimistic about that. The really great attraction of YouTube is, of course, that for those watching the videos, the whole thing is completely free. You can see entire films and television series for nothing, along with 2 million videos of cute cats on roller skates and so on. And best of all, you don't need to buy a television licence or pay anything. This is great. If though you are asked to start shelling out £52 a year to watch a fairly average comedian say outrageous things about people, then you might think twice. I do sympathise with Alex Belfield, because staying on the right side of YouTube can be a damn fine balancing act at times. As I'm sure viewers of this channel are aware, I have myself been banned at times for supposed hate speech and spreading medical misinformation. I have, however, managed so far to avoid anybody launching a High Court action against me because of what I say, and nor have I yet had the police kicking down my front door. I wish Alex Belfield well, but I'm bound to say he must realise that he was stepping over the bounds of what is acceptable. That is to say, not only acceptable to YouTube, but also to the police and courts in Britain. I can't really think that he didn't know what was likely to happen.